to the moon. We're going to the moon. Screw Kenny, cause we're holding on for dear life, getting them teddy so soon. Don't be mistaken, the apes won't be shaking or breaking because we're going to the moon. One day, very soon, gonna wake up on the moon. Brand new yacht and a McDonald's in my living room. Bright yellow Lamborghini, 50-meter swimming pool. Champagne every day, hey fam, what you do? Wanna hang, wanna chill? Oh, you got a mansion too? Oh, that's right, held on tight, jack titties every night. We was in way back when they tried to drop it down to 10. And just couldn't comprehend, ace was strong until the end. Now let's retell it, Citadel they be sweating. Had enough of these felons, but the apes we rebelling. Cause we never be selling till we send it to heaven. Now we be out here yelling, hey screw you Kenny. Bought my wife a minivan to share with the boyfriend, but I pull up in the Benz, plates saying olive crayons. Going on an airplane, don't think we'll be back again. Celebrating every day like it's your birthday. Screw Kenny cause we're holding on for dear life, getting them teddies so soon. Don't be mistaken, the apes won't be shaking or breaking because we're going to the moon. Screw Kenny cause we're holding on for dear life, getting them teddies so soon. Don't be mistaken, the apes won't be shaking or breaking because we're going to the moon. Today's expectation, probably more manipulation. FUD, a creation of a crooked operation. Bought more while it was low, got more dips than Trader Joe's. Oh, you thought that we'd let go? What the hell you take us for? Holla if you spend your last dollar on bananas while living in squalor. We don't claim to be scholars, we the smooth brain dummies, and we never stood taller. Yeah, we do this for love and we do this for honor. A follower 11 ain't got nothing on us. We the planet of the apes and in MOS we trust. MOASS, oh hell yes. Gonna send it into space, go fire up the jets. Done my DD, call me Elton John, Rocket Man. This is the way, gonna be gorillionaires. Ground control to Major Tom, we about to have liftoff. Call us Neil Armstrong, gonna keep holding on. Screw Kenny cause we're holding on for dear life, getting them teddies so soon. Don't be mistaken, the apes won't be shaking or breaking because we're going to the moon. Screw Kenny cause we're holding on for dear life, getting them teddies so soon. Don't be mistaken, the apes won't be shaking or breaking because we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon.
Let's fucking go.
Moon Gang.
Welcome to the final installment of Dumb Money for this particular week. A very, very wild week in the market. And I mean, even right now, if you look at the last 2 hours, 3 hours of trading, that's even wild. Everything's just going freaking insane. So what I want to do for this kind of Friday, I've noticed that like the vibe is different on a Friday close. So what I want to do is quickly share one story with you about what's going on with the Federal Reserve. And then I kind of want to watch some charts. Maybe we'll do an AMA thing, type into close. So that's kind of my vibe for this Friday. We'll take it a little bit more easy type of a thing. See what's going on. We'll give you the short interest update, the utilization update, cost of borrow, all that stuff from Ortex, the Federal Reserve story, and then we'll just kind of maybe do your AMA. We'll talk about maybe some good I guess risk reward management systems, because like right now we're definitely seeing some high volatility. Very, very quick reminder for all of you, the equities market is closed on Monday in observation of President's Day. Also, when you see long weekends such as this, when there's potentially a war, it is very, very common to see sell-offs into close because people are like, I just don't even want to take the weekend risk. That's a very, very common pattern. Am I saying that's exactly what's going to happen this time around? Absolutely not. I'm just letting you know about the pattern. That's all I'm saying. If you want to use that, great. If you want to do the opposite, also great. Have at it. But I'm just letting you know when there's a long weekend, especially a long weekend that might have a war in between that weekend, that it's very common for people to go risk off, as in sell some of their assets, their equities, and just sit on cash or go into bonds or something like that. Just wanted to share all of that with you. And with that being said, let's pop over to here. Whoa, actually, I didn't even pay attention to this. Well, that's actually kind of what we're already seeing. We saw this pop off of 432 all the way up to 437, back down to 433. Talk about volatility. I have the Keltner bands up here just to see how freaking wild some of this stuff is, but like just pop, 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 pop. We are going all over the place. What crazy gyrations. We have the Nasdaq going from 339 all the way up to 345, pretty much back down to 341. If I had to guess, I mean, in the very, very short term, like next couple minutes, yes, both the SPY and the Qs are on the south side of their Keltner, so it's not the most common thing to keep getting pushes like we did on the top side when you're outside of it. But at this point, I mean, you could argue that 433 is some support, but really I'm watching the intraday low of 432. And then the Qs, I'm watching 340. Let's see how that plays out. When I was a little bit of downtime in the mid session, I was doing a little bit of active trades on the futures market, just like picking up a little bit of a couple points here and there. Honestly, if I'm being completely forthcoming, when we got above 437, like above it, I was like, oh wait, we actually might get a weird push into close. And then when we started to sell, I was like, oh wait, it's the holiday weekend, there's a geopolitical situation going on. So into close, I'm a little bit more favorable of risk off, as in people selling, just kind of going into some cash positions. That's my own thought on the situation. Let's see how this plays out. But yeah, we'll watch the SPY and the Qs into close. But before we get into some chart watching, I do want to share this with you. Bada bing, bada boom. FOMC formally adopts comprehensive new rules for investment and trading activity. TLDR, the Fed, no more trading if you're a Fed member. The Federal Open Market Committee on Friday announced that it unanimously formally adopted comprehensive new rules for the investment and trading activities of senior officials. The rules, which were announced in October 2021, aim to support public confidence in the impartiality and integrity of the committee's work by guarding against even the appearance of a conflict of interest. So what's going down is there were a few people on the Fed who were caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and people are like, those are very, very timely trades. What's going on? Were you trading on insider information? Obviously, there was a public backlash from that. And now, like they said, it was announced in October 2021, but apparently going live now. Under the new rules, senior Federal Reserve officials are prohibited from purchasing individual stocks or sector funds, holding investments in individual bonds, agencies, securities, cryptocurrencies, commodities, or foreign currencies, entering into derivative contracts, and engaging in short sales or purchasing securities on margin. So pretty much everything. Additionally, senior Federal Reserve officials will be required to provide 45 days non-retractable notice of purchases and sales of securities obtained prior approval for such transactions, and hold investments for at least 1 year. So no active trading. Purchases and sales will also be prohibited during periods of heightened financial market stress. I find it interesting that they added that in. So when things are kind of getting a little bit crazy, they're saying no trading whatsoever. These new rules supplement existing rules that prohibit Federal Reserve officials from holding bank stocks and treasury securities, and from engaging in financial transactions during a blackout period around FOMC meetings. So I just wanted to share that with you. And hey, I think this is a baby step in the right direction of winning back the trust of the public. I'm a fan of this. This is obviously for the Federal Reserve, but there are other things that also need to be obviously discussed, like, for example, federal judges and obviously Congress, congressmen, congresswomen. Let's see if they can follow suit with this. I hope that they do. I once again need to reiterate the fact that, yes, there is some traction in some form of a trading ban in Congress, but they keep saying stock trading ban. Don't let them get away with that. I need to reiterate this, but obviously they're not really acknowledging ETFs, and they're not acknowledging options. And we know in 2021, the increase was in Congress people trading options. In fact, trading stocks went down in popularity. So I'm of the mindset, either no trading whatsoever, or if you do trade, let them trade whatever they want, but I want instantaneous reporting, or even day before reporting, and then the trade is executed 24 hours after, or something like that. But don't let them get away with just like, we're not trading individual stocks type of a thing, because there's other things they could do with their position, their insider knowledge, to inappropriately profit off of it. So I just felt the need to once again reiterate it. But on a positive note, hey, looks like the Fed is going in a way that, yes, like I said, baby steps in the right direction to earn our trust back. So I wanted to share that with you very quickly in terms of the crypto market. Here's the heat map. We're still seeing some red as we're heading into the weekend. And let me just update this. This is what the S&P 500 currently looks like. There is some green, there is some red, a little bit more red, I would say. Remember, the S&P 500 is still below its 200-day moving average. That's around 444. We're looking a little bit weak. I'm still very much watching this region of 430. It might not hit it today. I mean, that would involve a $3.50 sell-off in about 20 minutes. I mean, that's totally possible. I just think it's rather on the unlikely side. But let's see. Let's kick it back and enjoy it. You know what? In fact, I'll move it to the minute chart just so we can see how this stuff is or isn't playing out. On the bottom left, I have AMC. Ever since the sell-off this morning, it's just been range-bound sideways. The bottom of the range around 17.5, the top of the range around 18. We know we have resistance at 18, more important resistance at the low 18s. Would love for it to recapture 18.25. In terms of GME, not really range-bound. We had a little bit of a bear flag that actually, it broke down, but it's holding pretty strong at 120. I like GME holding 120, shows me some strength. So a little bit of positivity there. In terms of Ortex, AMC has a short interest of 21. GME has an Ortex short interest report of 21. Both have a utilization of 100%. In terms of the S&P 500, the short interest up a little bit from what we see maybe at the start of the week, around 16.7%. In terms of the the NASDAQ 100, 13.25%, and in terms of the Russell 2000, slightly dropped at the start of the week. It was around 40%. We're right now just under 38. Wanted to share all of that with you, and let's see what in the world is going on. A little bit of buyer stepping in, kind of a little bit of an oversold situation. And when I'm saying oversold, in terms of the Keltner, this is based on average true range of what this like middle line is, a moving average. Most of the time, the ATR is based on a 20 ATR. So the 20 moving range, usually when you're on the top side, that's an abnormal move to the top side. When you're on the bottom side of it, that's an abnormal move. These are also referred to as volatility bands. Keltner channel is not the same as the Bollinger Bands, but they are very, very similar. Bollinger Bands are going to be based on standard deviation, while Keltner channel is going to be based on an average true range. Once again, not the exact same, but they have quite a bit of overlap. Like if you were to, I'll throw up the Bollinger and just show you what it looks like. So right there, the Bollinger is the bands that got added on the outside. So not the exact same, but kind of similar rhyme or reason type of a situation. It is valid. I mean, I've heard of some trading strategies that they kind of go, as soon as you break down, you watch that trade. And as soon as you come back up, if you're on the bottom side, so for the SPY, you would have entered right here, the first bar that closes into it, and then you sell as soon as you get to the midline, and then the opposite for when you're on the top side. So for example, if you close out, you wait for the first one to close back in, and then you play that to the downside once again to the middle line. You could obviously add various filters on that if you wanted to take less trades, but be a little bit more accurate. But just in general, that's like somewhat of a pretty well-known trading strategy. It's just you play the reversion. It's a mean reversion type of a play. All right. So with all of that being said, like I said, we'll have AMC down there. We'll have GME over here. I'm just kind of interested in watching the overall market into close. No crazy updates in terms of the whole Russia situation. I like this one. DraftKings CEO blames market rotation for stock tumble. Not really. It was your poor earnings report. White House Neuberger says if Russia targets our companies or infrastructure, we are prepared to attack. White House Deputy Security Advisor Singh says converging on final sanctions package. Russia may take further cyber attacks as escalation. Neuberger, White House Singh says sanctions measures not intended to reduce Russia's ability to supply energy to world. Brainerd, more of a Fed update, appropriate to begin series of rate hikes in March. We knew that was coming. Unlikely to remove Russia from SWIFT in initial sanction, according to Singh. All gasoline options on table, including tax holiday. No decision has been made on more gasoline policy steps. Pentagon to boost stockpile of rare earth minerals. Lithium to reduce long-term reliance on Chinese supplies, according to sources. So that's some of your recent geopolitical updates there. We have 15 minutes to go. This was some weakness. I guess we're just bouncing off of this. Clearly, it's a key dollar level, 433. I guess we're just bouncing off of that. I was a little bit more paying attention to 432 just because we bounced off of it, like an hour or two ago. But I guess if that's where the buyers want to step in, that's where the buyers want to step in. Unless anything wild changes in the final 16 minutes of the day. The SPY down 0.5%, the Q's down 1%, the Russell down 0.7%. Let's see how it ends up playing off. We have clearly some volatility. We're moving a dollar like it's nothing. We went from 433 to 435, a $2 move in 9 minutes, sub 10 minutes to move $2. That is really representative of the overall volatility we're seeing in the market right now. AMC attempting to come back up to 18, GME holding above 120. I like that. Man, the SPY is pushing right now. From one end of the Keltner to the other end, this is just insane. This volatility is such insane, artificially manufactured bullshit. It's so frustrating when things move like this. A bunch of money dumping, a bunch of money buying. This is not normal movement. I refuse to believe it. This is just everyone, big wigs, big whales, just like playing with the tensions and the volatility of the current geopolitical situation. This is whipsawing at its finest. If you are sitting there and you're just getting frustrated because you're seeing one trend and then all of a sudden you get whipped out, and then if like you're hit your max point and then it whips back in your favor, but you got dumped out anyway, trust me, this stuff, it's part of the market. I'm sitting there right there with you. So absurdly frustrating. Such a manufactured thing. I would in no way be surprised if geopolitical leaders across the board, like this, to me, this is all such BS. Such absurd, frustrating BS. What's my stop loss on UVXY? Well, first of all, I want to hold it at least one day, and my intent is to actually hold it over the weekend because it's like kind of a hedge of any craziness breaking out over the weekend. So in terms of a dollar stop loss, I'll give that to you, I guess, on Tuesday, but I know I'm holding it for the weekend. Just so the stock then it goes up. Hey, folks, I'm there with you. And this is, I guess, since the start of the week and really the past 3 weeks, I've been telling you, expect absurd volatility. That's the game we're in right now. It's just a super high volatility environment. This stuff does not persist forever. It just simply doesn't. But right now, that's just the current market regime that we're in. Is high volatility, high swings. If you are sitting there in more of like a frustrated state, there's a good chance that like might lead you to chase and make a silly move and get whipsawed and double up on your losses. Stick to your plan. Whatever your initial risk was, just stick to it, and it'll help keep your emotions a little bit more calm. It's environments like this that it is extremely difficult to trade without emotions, because you're getting whipped, and like obviously you're like, wait, if I just held on 10 more minutes, I would have been in profit. I've been there a million times. I've been there today with you when I was doing stupid scalp trades on the futures market on the S&P 500. But with it's all, the end of the day, your emotions aside, it's about protecting your capital. Don't let something go so haywire that it like ends up blowing up your account in a negative way. And if you notice that you are chasing, you're frustrating, that's a very good sign to just step away. Call it an early weekend, step away from the computer. And I know it right there. I've been there a million times with you. And like when you're frustrated, you're like, yeah, but okay, like if I get this move, I can make back 25% of my losses and like I'll feel better about it and I'll go into the weekend. I get that. But ask yourself what happens if you double up on your losses and now you're absurdly frustrated, and then all of a sudden it ruins your night, it ruins your weekend, and all of a sudden you're just thinking about it all weekend until we come back on Thursday. And then Thursday, just knowing your luck, it's going to gap in the direction that would have benefited you immensely. And then you're going to be kicking yourself because you're like, why didn't I just hold that? It played out. And all of a sudden you enter the game on Tuesday in a super tilted move. And then all of a sudden you're tracing those losses back. It's a very, very negative snowball effect. And if you can feel your emotions boiling over just because of like how you're getting whipped, I'm telling you, I've been there hundreds of times before. Step away. It's okay. The market will be back. It's if you're in that where you can, like, if you're identifying yourself right now of being on tilt, step away. It's going to save you money. You might get absurdly lucky, absurdly lucky. But ask yourself, are you really expecting some sort of absurd move in the final 10 minutes of a trading day? I think the risk is too big, both emotionally and financially, for you to be like, hang on, I'm going to make it back. Now with your time against the wall, 11 minutes and counting, I just don't think it's a good mindset to be in. I've been struggling while learning to trade ever since I found your channel last April. I'm finally figuring out up 2,400 on NVIDIA. Oh, brother. Shout out Violet. Crush it. Violet Burr. You have heard of premium burn days. I like to call these PDT burn days. That's pretty funny. That's a good one. I like that. I like that. I like that. I mean, even look at that. We got some 350 algos running. You know what's interesting? Just in my, I guess, experience of trading, you know what's always a fun thing to watch, especially on the overall market? It's a kind of like a well-known thing that algorithms run at. You're going to see them at 8:30 in the morning, be an hour before the market officially opens. You're going to see a jolt around 9:30 for market open. It's common to see new positioning done at 3 p.m., a little bit at 3:30, but one of the ones I always find most interesting to watch is 3:55. If you're looking at a minute bar, especially on the overall market here, like the SPY and the Qs, watch what happens as soon as 3:55, that new minute bar starts. You're going to see like kind of an abnormal uptick. And what that is, it's a lot of like algorithms fire at 3:55 to get positioning basically for the next day. But there's really not a pattern of it being bullish or bearish. If it was, I would tell you, I'd be like, hey, this is like the pattern I'm trading on. I myself have not found an algorithm that properly predicts the 3:55 wave. But even if you look at the volume bar and also just like the range of that minute bar, 3:55 always, I shouldn't say always, commonly an influx of volume. So let's definitely watch that one out. A little bit of an algorithm trader tip for you there. Can't spell Putin without put. Incoming drop confirmed. Played SPY puts expiring today. 437 breakdown. Got it the same. Got out for 125% gain on the way down. Thanks for all the great knowledge, T Hill. Super proud of you. Congrats on that trade. That's all you. That is all you. Crushing it. Shooting everyone and everything's a diplomatic source with years of experience on the conflict. Described Friday's shelling in Eastern Canada as the most intense. Wow. As the most intense. Oh, what are we going to see in the close? Let's get votes. Up in the close, down in the close, or just muted? Is it just going to go in? What does everyone think the final, 5 minutes is going to be? Right answers only. Up close, down close, or just sideways? Are we going to get rugged to the upside? Are we going to get rugged to the downside? Or are we going to just get rugged flat in a close? I know we're all getting rugged. The question is, what rug are we going to get? Down, down, up, down, muted, up, sideways, muted, more red, up, down, consolidation, sideways. Man, there is not a clear decision on this one. If I'm going to give you my bias, and I'm literally telling you I'm a little bit biased just because of, I guess, like I know about, like, obviously there's tensions into close and it's a 3-day weekend. I'm a little bit more biased to the downside, but I don't know because it's already been selling off since 3. Pretty much all of power hour, this is a sell-off. A banana in the tailpipe. I can't do a poll because I think I only have, the poll options are only 2 options. I can't add a third one, I don't think. I wonder if we're going to retest 433. The clock is ticking, though. If it is going to test 433, I mean, that's a whole nother $1. And I know we moved $2 in 9 minutes, but we have 6 minutes. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if there's going to be any big pushes up, down, sideways, backwards. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I wonder if 434 is going to come into play. Just a round vault. Like, Is this like a max pain level or something that people are targeting? All right, we are about 50 seconds out from that little algorithm surge that you see. Lots of traders, computerized traders, making positions in right at the end of the day there. So we'll watch that. It happens literally right at 3:55 ET. Cops are now in riot gear, removing Ottawa protests. Be prepared for unrest that may ripple into other nations. Well, that's not good. All right, we are about 15 seconds out. Let's see if my prediction is right. I have a feeling it is because I've watched this so many times before. All right, about 5 seconds. Let's see if I'm right. What's this minute bar going to do? Just kind of a jolty reaction. We got some buying. I guess they bought today. Let's see if they're actually going to hold that. Ooh, is it going to swip to the downside on us? A little bit more whippy. I guess the 355ers decided to buy today. The 355ers. But someone is selling into them. They're trying to buy on both the SPY and on the Qs. They tried to push it. But it's not really pulling off anything. Someone's selling right into them. Interesting. Let's see. All right. Well, now we are sub 4 minutes. The 355ers try to keep it up. They were buying as much as they could, but then they got dumped on. Couldn't get over that mean reversion line, that midline, like on both the SPY and the Qs acting as resistance. Could not hold 434. This will be an interesting close for sure. The recent low is 432. Man, that's almost $1 below where we are. The volatility of the market is just nuts. Nuts. Congress selling right now. That'd be funny. Pelosi's there, just sell it all. Knowing them, they would keep their stock and just load up on absurd puts, like deep out of the money, close, short expiration times. What are we going to do? All right, sub 3 minutes. We're almost at 2.5 till the days in the book, the weeks in the book. Not the month, though. About halfway through Feb. We're about halfway through Feb. What are we going to do? Well, thus far, I guess the people who said sideways into close are pretty much right, because for the past, ever since we had a little bit of a sell down, but ever since then, looks like the team sideways kind of won. Team sideways kind of won. They're just pinning it to 434. I guess someone might want it at that value. A little pop of buyers, but looks like, I guess 434 was the target on the overall market. And that's what we're going to get. That is what we're going to get. Team. What are we going to do? Just so you know, don't forget, equities market, if you're just tuning in, equities market is closed on Monday. So don't be surprised when your options aren't changing at all at 9:30 on Monday. The equities market will resume on Tuesday. Because of that, it's a tough situation. It's a really tough call. It's obviously a little bit more conservative to close your positions, especially your active ones, betting on what will or won't occur over the next 3-day weekend. Or you could swing for the fences and swing the position, but you're risking the chance of a noteworthy gap up or gap down. I don't know which way it's going to gap. It depends on how things go with Russia and Ukraine. And surprisingly, they're not calling me, good old Matty boy, up deciding what they should or shouldn't do. So just want to keep everyone like kind of in tune with that. You have about 30 seconds left. So if you are battling pattern day trading and you're trying to execute a trade now, just so you can close it out if you so choose on Tuesday, your time is ticking. But once again, team sideways of like, hey, we're going sideways in the close. It looks like you guys were 100% spot on. Spot on, spot on, spot on. All right, 5-second warning. Dingity ding ding ding. The casino is closed. Dingity ding ding ding. That's it. That's it. Not only for the day, for the week, and now you are gonna get a long weekend. I hope you're able to hang out with friends. I hope you're able to hang out with family. And if not, I hope you just have a good old relaxing time. No movement thus far on market close. I thought MOC orders, market on close. OMC on market close. It's one of those. Who knows? I'm surprised there's not like more insanity like in as we're going into this weekend. A little bit interesting there, folks. That's what I have for you. It's been a crazy week. Been a crazy week between all this stuff, the Fed, Russia, all these announcements of basically relating to the reports from the macroeconomic situation. A highly volatile week. I do have a little bit of good news for you. A lot of the macroeconomic things related to the Fed and the reports will calm down next week, but volatility might being higher depending on what is or isn't going to go on with Russia. So that's going to be the main volatility driver next week. We're kind of getting out of earnings season. I don't know if it's technically over, but I think it's safe to say that earnings season, the craziness of it has pretty much calmed down. So we're out of earnings season. The next big Fed update, we're going to probably get probably about a month out, maybe 3 weeks out, maybe early mid-March, not really in Feb. So at least that stuff's out of our hair. So no more big earnings. Hopefully no more crazy Fed updates. So the thing right now to pay attention to is undoubtedly what in the world is or is not going on with Russia, Ukraine. So pay attention to that. Clearly capable of some serious swings over the weekend. One good barometer you can use is what in the world's going on with crypto. We know that BTC and ETH are particularly correlated with the NASDAQ, and we know the NASDAQ is correlated with the S&P 500. So if you just want to give it a little looky-see and just give it a rough idea of like, are we up or down, check out what crypto is doing relative to the values it's currently at right now. BTC 40,000 and ETH 2,800. So you could use that of like, okay, are we above 40,000? Are we above 2,800? Or are we below it? And that'll give you a super rough estimate of where the market is going to be at. But that's it. That's what I have for you. I truly appreciate your support. Thank you. I wanted to give you a friendly reminder that if you want more information, if you're like, nah, I'm not done with the market today, I need kind of a wrap up of all this situation at 4:30 in less than 30 minutes. I'm spamming my own chat right there. There's going to be a free stream from TTG on YouTube. It's just like another YouTube stream, costs absolutely no money. Feel free to check it out, but that's at 4:30. And they're just going to be doing a market wrap up, all the crazy stock movers, an update of Russia, an update of Fed. So you can get another person's opinion. Once again, it's a YouTube stream. So that is at 4:30. Feel free to check that out. But for me personally, thank you. I appreciate all the likes. I appreciate all the new members of Moon Gang. Shout out. Welcome aboard the rocket ship. And of course, shout out to all the people who have already been very proud Moon Gang members. Remember, it's an extended weekend. I hope you have an enjoyable one. I hope you have a lot of exciting things planned, even if that involves just chilling out and sitting on your couch like a potato. Thank you for all of the amazing support throughout the week. I will catch you. I'll post some VOD content over the weekend, and we'll also do a crypto live stream on like Sunday and Monday, just so you know. But thank you. I appreciate it. And as always, from me and Chair, best of luck in the markets.